There we go. All right. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Reflection and Projection for Sports podcast with Simon Birch. We thank you all for taking an hour out of your time and tuning into the show where we may or may not be reflecting on some of the biggest news in sports because we have a special guest with us today. We have the one and only Lewis Volker with us today. George Mason women's basketball, number 15 on the roster. And how you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I was doing well until the draft last night. Um, did you ever watch the draft?
No.
You didn't?
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I don't know
All
about
right. So let's, without further ado, um, so for those of you who don't know, we always start with a joke. What do you call a hockey player in a leaky barn?
in a leaky barn.
Grain Wetsky.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Okay. All right. So let's just get into this. Could you introduce yourself? I don't know, year in school, where you go to school now, where you'll be next year, sport, years left of eligibility, all things of that nature.
Yeah, I'm Lewis Volker. I am a junior. I'm finishing my undergrad this year, but I like, as far as the NCAA says, I'm a junior. It's my third year. I've got one more year of eligibility, and I decided to transfer to DePaul University to start grad school with that year. Hopefully another year if they give me 5, but that would be cool.
So when did you start playing basketball, and what got you into the game overall?
So I grew up with it. I come from a basketball family. My dad played at St. Clair and then played at Fairmont State. And then my sister just finished playing at Marquette. My older brother played in high school. I'm the youngest of 3, so I grew up with it. I took a break from it in middle school just to see if it was really my thing. And volleyball and musical theater were great, but ended up missing it a lot more. So decided to stick with it and still doing it.
Yeah. Hoping that you get to play one more year. Um, so who would you say are your biggest basketball inspirations?
Oh my gosh. My sister, first of all, because I love competing with her and she's so much fun. But growing up, I really idolized like the Landa Deladon's game. I liked a lot of like Larry Bird, a lot of '90s NBA.
Yeah.
So like Isaiah Thomas, kind of Bad Boys era Pistons, especially. My family's from Michigan, so very, very, very proud of that. Um, but yeah, any like versatile stretch forward is my favorite.
Yeah, versatility is always a key thing, and especially in today's game. Today's game is only growing and growing, and it's gonna get much harder as the game keeps on growing. So, what do you want to do after basketball for a career?
I am with student media here at George Mason. I love journalism. I'm studying journalism. I'd love to write. I want to be a writer in any capacity, so I love news writing. I really like editing a lot too, but I also really like creative writing and like comics and comic art and I don't know, anything where I can keep writing and maybe something more creative on the side too would be great.
Gotcha. So a follow-up question here. Are you still going to be able to work for Fourth Estate GMU online through your new school?
I mean, if they send me something to edit, I would love to look at it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to or not. But DePaul has a student-led newspaper, though.
Okay. Cool. What do you think is the most impactful lesson you have learned from Coach Blair Lewis?
Oh my gosh. I mean, she's got so many. I think it's hard to pick a favorite. She told us one time it was like a whole lecture on running your own race, and so we looked at like the men's 100-meter race from the past Summer Olympics. So a lot of, I think, the most. I'm so grateful for everything that she's taught and like she's passed on a lot of life lessons. But I think if I had to pick one, it would be to like run your race and not worry about anyone else.
Because us as people, we're just people individually, and
yeah.
we can't control what everybody else wants to do and this and that.
Yeah, and like worrying about other people, what other people think, other stuff that's outside your control doesn't have any effect on what they actually think or do. So I mean, there's no point in worrying and putting yourself through something bad twice. I feel like if something bad happens, then it's like, okay, then move on.
Yeah.
But I think worrying, and I forget too a lot, but worrying about something before it happens doesn't have much of a point.
No, and that definitely that kind of just that would like if that keeps going, it kind of just carries and carries, and it doesn't like allow you to come back and go back and be able to think about it like you kind of regretted it. It's like something you'd regret.
Right.
So what would you say was the main reason behind choosing DePaul University?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think I had like a Venn diagram of criteria when I hit the portal of like criteria that I really, really wanted to lock down. So like academics is super important to me. I'm a big nerd outside of basketball, so I want to go to a great academic program.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to a style of basketball. I'm hoping to play pro overseas when I finish with college, so I was looking for a style of basketball that was just a really great fit. And then I also wanted like a great campus life and a great culture and a great, I've got a lot of stuff going on outside of basketball. So
Oh yeah.
visited and really fell in love with like Lincoln Park in Chicago, and just really, it, just it was really firing on all three cylinders. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited.
What are the odds you think you get to play with Paula Suarez?
Oh my gosh.
You played with her. You played with her for a year, and she's impactful. And if I was commentating as a sophomore, I would have been over the moon. But still, getting the opportunity to do it this year.
Yeah. That'd be great.
So obviously, as we all know, the transfer portal and NIL have made a huge impact in collegiate athletics in the past handful of years, and like ever since COVID, it's been this whole big thing, and it's just changed everything. It's getting a little out of control. I will say that. I don't want to like get into your beliefs about the transfer portal. I don't want to like make you uncomfortable. That's absolutely not what I'm here to do. But they also recently announced a new one free transfer and 5-year window just 2 to 3-ish weeks ago. I wanted to get your perspective on these topics. I wanted to get what you think one benefit is and one drawback from this portal era.
That's tricky. I mean, I think with the era, just the way things have been since COVID, it's not at all what I expected, like starting high school and when I first decided that I wanted to play in college. But I think the genie's kind of out of the bottle, so I don't I don't want to like complain about it or try to take it back or I think there's a lot flawed with it and a lot that we could do to fix it. It is nuts, like the musical chairs that goes on every year. But at the same time, I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
No.
And I think we have to like respond to that and just accept that the game changes. I think it's a big part of the game changing too. I mean, Curry came in and really changed a lot of how basketball is played, a lot of how what's popular and kind of the style. Michael Jordan came in and it changed the style of basketball. So I think I think things happen and stuff changes, and I think we just kind of have to respond and roll with that and like adjust to that because I don't think we're going back to a 2019.
No, where like athletes aren't gonna get like back when athletes aren't getting paid and all that stuff. I don't think that's going away. I never
thought like as a kid, like my goal was never to go play college basketball to get paid and play basketball. I'm like, I can't believe I get to keep playing basketball. This is so much fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so cool. I get to go to a school that I love, and then like, what do you mean we get to be paid on top of that? So none of this was in the plan. None of this was planned. It wasn't scripted or anything.
But I do think that that I feel like with some people, I get it. They generate this money, and it's definitely not easy to generate. Yeah. But then when we're going like Shadur Sanders, then we're crossing boundary lines. That's a little much for a 21-year-old to be set for life like that. However, it's teaching them to manage money.
Yeah, well, I think one big strength of like the financial landscape of all of it is it's putting a lot more power into the players' hands.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like I think of basketball as entertainment, especially people pay money to watch people. Players generate revenue for their schools, and I think it's really cool that players get to have a lot of more, negotiating power and get to benefit from that system a lot. At the same time, like, we're young. I'm like, I was a teenage girl last year. Like, I don't. It's a lot of responsibility. So I think there's got to be a lot of like teaching that comes with it, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of like financial literacy, and it's a great, very hands-on learning experience.
Oh
But
yeah.
at the same time, I think it's a lot of important stuff happening to a person that's very young, and a person that's not was not expect. I mean, none of us were expecting this to
I,
happen
I
either.
mean, I,
So
I mean, like we're still what 20 and 21 years old. I mean,
yeah,
our brains haven't like fully
yeah, my frontal
developed
lobe
to.
is not. Yeah, I got school tomorrow. I don't.
School
It's
tomorrow.
no finals whatever.
Yeah.
I yeah, it's a lot, and I think it's something that we have to adjust to. I think it's a crazy time to be in like right now, just
Yeah.
because like we're in the middle of watching it all change. I
We're
don't think
oh
we're
yes.
not out the other side yet. Like
No,
it's
we're
still
not.
a lot of crazy
The
crazy.
other side's gonna be a whole nother
That's
story.
gonna be nuts. Yeah. So I think it's a really cool. I don't know. I like when I'm old. I think it'll be really cool to be like, how like back in my day we didn't get paid
Yeah.
and we just played for the love of the game.
Um, so who is one, we already mentioned Coach Blair Lewis. If you had another individual, like if there's someone that's outside of Coach Blair Lewis
Mhm.
that you felt that was a mentor to you, who do you think it would be and why?
Oh my gosh. I mean, new to the staff this year, we had Coach Brandon Stewart. He's coming like straight off of a high school state championship,
Oh,
and
wow.
like he just showed up to practice every day with a consistent energy and like the most. We would joke like, what, like, oh my gosh, chill out, because he just was like on 10 every single practice, but. He was great. He was great. He was always like willing to go do film, and was never like looking to tear anyone down. He's very much like a build up your players type of guy and
Hmm.
type of coach. So I think his interest in development, both like off and on the court, was just like really great. Like he's like a sibling. It's weird, like he's a coach, but he like I forget that a lot. He's just a great friend and
I,
like someone I look up
I'm
to.
gonna admit right now, it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are. If you're bringing the energy to practice, that's gonna change the motivation in every
Absolutely.
single
Yeah,
player.
absolutely. Like he
And
would
it,
jump on
it
the
not even sports, like in other things like band or theater, like that changes
exactly.
the
Yeah.
environment of that as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you have and also like in the classroom as well, like with a lecture. I mean, I get it, 300 people in a class, that's hard to do that.
Yeah,
Um,
but he showed up every day. I mean, he would jump on the like practice squad every practice, and like
okay.
we're talking smack, and we're
Yeah, and I mean,
just bringing
in
it every
case
day.
like the other guys have like stuff to do and like in the office or whatever during practice, things of that stuff. So speaking of practice, I know that a lot of people probably want to know what the so like it's how many times per day you look at practice, recovery, lift, and so forth. Just I want to get like a grasp of what a typical schedule with that stuff is.
Uh, well, like in season, we just like yeah, I'll do in season.
You want, or do you want to do both?
I'll do that's fine. In season we'll lift like about 8 in the morning. We have to be there at 7:45, or else we have to do first climber. So we'll get up for lift. If I get a good night of sleep, then like maybe go in the morning before, but usually not. We'll lift, and then a lot of times I'll have class at like 9 a.m. So we'll just like kind of speed straight to lift.
I may or may not know one of those 9 a.m. classes. Yep.
And then a lot of times we'll in the spring semester we'll have practice at 1:30, so it's class from let's say 9 to 10:15 on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And then just speed over outside of class and get shots at before, and really focus on practice when you're in practice. But then a lot of the time I'll have like if we get out of practice at say 4:30, I'll have like a 5 p.m. I had a lot of afternoon classes this semester, so you're just kind of running around campus.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you're not like in
Yeah.
your dorm much. This that.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 9 to 5. But I mean, I still got to be involved with like Fourth Estate and got to do.
Oh
I
yeah,
for
and
office hours.
that's like where like the full story comes
Yeah.
together when you get to be able to do things outside of
Right.
the stuff you already do as a D1 athlete. That really gives you that freedom of
Right.
just doing what you want to do. Like college is that time where it's like
Mhm.
it's your time
Yeah.
It's the best 4 or 5 years of your
You
life.
know what you want to be for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Like, you try everything.
But you can't rush yourself.
No, yeah, absolutely
That
not.
you can't rush yourself at all. Like I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 years from now.
Yeah, literally, yeah. No one knows.
Um,
I didn't think I didn't know I was gonna get paid like 5 years ago. So
yeah. So yeah, and we're kind of and oh, in season. What does in season look like?
in season is it's interesting because in season like practice is a lot more chill. Lift is a lot more focused on like recovery and maintenance versus like getting sore and getting strong. So it's a lot. It's yeah, but like we're also sore and like our bodies still hurt. And it's still kind of the same time commitment, but I think it takes a lot. I think it's the same. It just takes a lot more mental focus because
Yeah.
you're just, if you're in practice and you're irritated or you've been doing scout where you're like standing on the baseline just trying to learn versus like running around the court, then you just have to lock in a little bit more. But I mean, we call it the dog days and we
Yeah.
do it every year.
Oh, the
Wouldn't
dog
change it.
days.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Um, so yeah, so just could you sum up just like first off, as being a D1 athlete, it's a huge time commitment, obviously. Like how do you put the balance into academics and athletics just in general?
I mean, it's a balancing act for sure. Like I try to basketball is awesome, and I think one of the greatest benefits of it is the fact that I get to go to school with it. So like academics is a huge priority and is something that I keep in mind. I think it's a juggling act, and like some of the stuff that you have is stuff like you have to show up to practice every day. You have to go to
Yeah.
class every day. So those
Study hall, this,
yes,
that.
yeah. So like if you're juggling, those are like the glass balls that you can't drop, you can't afford to break. But then if you have like extracurriculars, like for the state, if I can't show up to a meeting, if I can't go to my office hours, like that's more plastic. So if you have to drop something, like you just have to kind of allocate what
Yeah.
your tier list.
You have to kind of go on a ranking, like what are you
Yeah.
gonna drop this or are you gonna drop that? Um, so now let's kind of look into the game itself. What is your favorite part about playing basketball? Like when you're on the court, what do you think your favorite part about playing the game is?
I don't know. It's just so much fun. I'm so competitive. Like
I am too.
love the competition so much. Like I don't know. I love playing like hard teams or teams like on the ESPN thing in the app. It says like the projections for who they think is gonna win, and anytime it says we're under 50%, like oh man, I think it's so much fun to like challenge other teams, and I think like that momentum swing when it's like we're down 5 points but we're coming after you is like the best feeling ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, I really love basketball.
Oh, I do too. And even for someone like me who, well, obviously I didn't play basketball in high school, but I was a band kid.
What'd you play?
Trombone.
Nice.
Yeah. And like playing intramural basketball, playing pickup basketball, and that, like you still learn so much about the game and like the competitiveness
And I love that it's always changing too. Like
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, people like to complain and debate about like what's better, what system is better and everything, but I think it's so much fun and like yeah, it's just really cool, and I like how it's changing all the time, and you never run out of things to practice. It's never like
The defense first mentality of Vanessa is a
yeah
huge attention getter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, putting together a kill is it's really so much fun. And getting a good stop score is like
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Stops and buckets, you know what they say. So could you tell me, okay, I might know one of these, but could you tell me what you think your top 3 moments as a Patriot were on the basketball court?
I mean, definitely winning A10 last year. That was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
That experience was super cool. That was that was awesome. I mean, I get to be old and like tell young people, to the NCAA tournament, you don't know how big what a bad day is. So.
Yeah.
So definitely winning A10. I mean, that was incredible, and getting to bring that trophy back home to Fairfax like that day, just that was just really great. Like 24 hours, that was awesome. I'd say for number 2, probably the buzzer beater.
The buzzer beater?
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, that was fun. That was weird. My phone was blowing up. Like I had extended family and people I had heard from high school and everything texted. So that was cool. They mispronounced my name on Sports Center, which was
Oh.
fine. It was fine. It happens.
No, it happens. It happens.
Mhm.
So yeah, like I was. So I was at home that night. My family and I, we were watching the game, and even my boss was texting me, "We're fighting to get you a game," because they scheduled Mackenzie and Tommy to do the first
Okay.
game, and I didn't get to. And I was like, okay, well, I won't get to do the. I was hoping to do the first game because I was like, in case they get eliminated in the first game, I
Why
want
would
to.
you say that?
Well, no, it's just that you have to prepare for you know what I mean? Like you have to prepare for the and when there were 5 minutes left, I was like, this might be it.
Absolutely.
Like but then I had second thoughts and I was like, I've watched this team all year. I know that they're a group of players that just don't give up till the end.
I mean, that overtime was so fun to play into, and we were really. I think a big part of our identity the last 2 years was like we're playing for each other. You know, like I'm
Yeah.
playing for. It's
You're playing for each other every game.
Yeah, yeah. It's really all for one and one for all. So like it was, you know, we looked at each other. We're like, this is our game. This is up to us, and we're gonna do it for each other. So I mean, that was so. I mean, and it's like that swing, you know, where like we're down,
Yeah.
but and then like finally in like the end of the fourth quarter.
Oh,
like, okay, there we go.
I was screaming at the top of my
Goodness
lungs.
gracious. It was so funny. Like my parents weren't at the game. I was like, I mean, if we get eliminated, that would stink, and I wouldn't want you there. And you know, if we win, then it would be cooler to go to the semis and finals.
Yeah.
Like,
doing the.
They're just watching the TV at home. Like, oh, that might have been a good one to go to, but I just did not. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I wish I recorded my reaction to the buzzer beater and throughout the end of the game, and it was wild. My parents were like, "You're gonna lose your voice." I'm like, I don't care. Like we survived and won. But then I thought through. I was like, yeah, I should probably rest it a little bit. Got up at 7 o'clock the next morning, drove down, did the game, went back up to the guys' game, saw them whack St. Louis in the head. Then next Sunday, drove back down at lunchtime or something like that, and then got there and did the A10 final. I'm not gonna discuss the game any further.
Why? What happened?
Just because of the result of the game. But it was still a great game. 90% at the free throw line. Can't really do much about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was. You know, Rhode Island was a great team.
Yeah.
And it was so much. I mean, we knew going in like it was gonna be the battle, and they scored more points than us, which is irritating. But you know, it's over now.
And part of me, sometimes you and I sometimes I think of 2 or 3 more missed free throws. A Motang off the glass sends us to overtime because she hit that buzzer beater at the end. That didn't really count it towards the end. But it was really fun doing that. I'm sure it was fun for you too to be back for a second year in a row in Henrico and be a part of something different in the Atlantic 10 tournament. So now name me at least one goal you have that you want to achieve throughout your time as a Blue Demon.
Oh, I want to beat UConn so bad. That would be
Oh,
incredible.
I can see that.
Well, I mean, I just like.
What was your reaction to the incident with Dawn Staley?
Oh my gosh. Well, I would love to get into that because I mean, you know, I hate to lose, and I understand being incredibly irritated.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I mean, can't stand it. I mean, if you're in the game that much and you're a legendary coach like that, and can't stand losing. But I mean, it was a great moment for Dawn Staley, and like it was a really big deal for South Carolina basketball. So I didn't love that it took away attention from, the fact that South Carolina survived and advanced and was going to the final. Like it was record breaking, and Dawn Staley is legend.
Arguably one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah. So I mean, So I mean, that was.
But beating UConn, I can understand that the legacy they've built.
It would. I mean,
100-game win streak, 54-game win streak.
Right. Yeah. It would be so cool.
Yeah.
Like
even if you only lose by 3. I mean that's not gonna that would absolutely scare them. When I was watching Iowa FDU, I was like, what is going on? Like a 15-2 has. By the way, if you didn't know, a 15-2 has never happened in the women's bracket, but a 16-1 has. And that was Stanford.
I mean, when we went to NCAA, my sophomore year, like I
I
was
thought we
so irritated.
I thought we could
I
pull
thought so
off
too. I was so.
FSU.
I understand. I love my family. Thank you, family. But they were texting me like, "It's okay. We're so proud of you. Like that was
Oh.
so cool. How awesome was it?" I was like, "I wanted to win. Like I want to be mad right now." So I just think it would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, ACC is always a tough conference. Women's basketball, men's basketball, everything.
Well,
ACC.
Big East, yeah, but yeah.
No, I'm saying
Oh.
ACC, Florida
Yeah.
State.
Florida State. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Florida State. Big East is definitely. Even if I mean, even if you're I'm not specifically saying a team, but like any team in the Big East, like playing UConn, even if they have a bad record every year, that's a treat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's great practice. It's great, guaranteed to be playing against future legends of the sport, so that'd be cool. I think it'll be awesome to beat Marquette too, just so I can talk smack to my sister.
She's still playing, right?
No, she's finished. She's going.
She was. What class was she's class of 26?
Yes, yeah. So she's
as a fourth or fifth year.
Fifth year. Yep.
Fifth year. Okay. So many more fifth years and sixth and seventh years.
I'm so proud of her. Like it was cool. It's weird that I'm the only one in college basketball now. Like that's gonna be.
Yeah, you got how many sisters do you have and brothers?
I've got one. I'm the youngest of three, so I have an older brother.
That's right. You have a youngest of three.
And my sister's an old child.
All right, we're gonna get a little more chill into things here. So on a long bus or plane ride, what's the go-to snack?
Oh, that's a good. I love like Z-bars.
I've never had a Z-bar.
So yummy. Oh my gosh. I like fruit snacks. I mean,
fruit snacks.
Yeah, we get like cupped fruit and everything. There's usually someone with like oranges and clementines and stuff. I like fruit. But yeah, I'm not a really picky eater, so anything that sounds good. Yeah.
And then, what are your go-to songs to listen to during warm-ups? During warm-ups or?
Okay. Yeah. I went to a 21 Pilots concert over the summer, and it was like the best. I love going to concerts, and it was like one of the best I've ever been to. Like the energy was just really great, so I'll do something from there for like their newest album a lot. I don't like anything that's a vibe. I do my ritual before a game is I do a pregame nap, and that's just in the locker room, like on the couch, so the managers will be coming in and out. So I'll put like the Nutcracker soundtrack in while I'm taking my nap. And then anything hype. I love like, I love Daft Punk a lot too.
Okay.
I like any indie rock. I'm not.
Faster, stronger.
Yes. Well, yes.
But yeah. So obviously, especially in your first year or so of college, when you go home for the summer, sometimes you kind of forget about college.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what would you, if you were ever into that, or if you ever fell in that situation, what would be your favorite movie or TV show? Like when you say, like, let's say if you're like stuck at home with your parents for the summer and bored out of your mind.
Oh my gosh, I'm a big movies person. I'm a big Letterboxd person. I'm really liking a lot of horror movies lately.
Okay. What just came out?
Horror movies?
Yeah, what horror movies?
Ready or Not 2 just came out. I haven't seen that yet. I'm very interested because I like the commentary in that one. But anything. Oh, that's a great question. I loved like this year's Oscar slates of like One Battle After Another and Sinners and loved Weapons. I go to the Mondays. One of the local theaters does like screens of older movies, so I love The Shining. Just rewatched The Shining. That was awesome.
That's probably where people were during the pandemic.
Yeah.
The pandemic, it was all about old movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff that wasn't popular in the theater.
Yeah, my parents live really close to a movie theater, so like I like to walk over. I saw Batman.
I'm gonna be seeing the Michael Jackson movie tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm not a huge movie person. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to disappoint you.
No, that's fine.
I don't like, knowing me. Like if I have a YouTube channel, podcast, I have a reffing job. What else do I do?
It's sort of squeezing time for.
Yeah, squeezing into, and I also want to watch sports. Obviously, I was all over the draft last night. And yeah, I'm excited to see it. Like if once in a while, like if I don't know, an Avengers movie comes out or a new movie that just looks really appealing when it comes to the message behind it, stuff like that, then I'm like, okay, I might want to go see this.
I love that.
Yeah. I feel like the hype for the Michael Jackson movie just comes in and out.
Yeah.
I think it just comes. Like I was telling my parents, like we need to go see this for
Yeah.
because my brother's birthday's tomorrow.
Okay. Nice.
I'm gonna go home for a bit. I'm not. Yeah. I I can bet you I can probably bet you three figures he's not watching this because he's not a sports guy. But he's at Virginia Tech and doesn't go to football games.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, I take it back. No.
No.
I mean, the Michael Jackson
No,
is interesting.
he's in a similar field you are. He's doing creative writing. And,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
He's a freshman right now. He's probably if I hope he's on the train right now. He should be on his way back right now because we live like 20 minutes from here.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, like I obviously have a car and everything. I don't have to waste my parents' time to say, hey, come and get me because I'm tired of doing that.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that I got a car over Christmas. Thank you, Lord. But yeah, like it'll be fun to see them and hope the cats are staying out of trouble and and it'd be nice to see him. I haven't seen him since spring break.
Yeah. Nice.
When was the last time you saw your sister?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, she was in the Big East, so she played at Georgetown. So when she played at Georgetown, our extended family came. It was awesome. We played.
I thought she played. You said she played at Marquette.
She played at Marquette, but they played at Georgetown. They played against Georgetown in DC.
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't play. Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't play. We don't play Marquette that often.
Yeah. So she was in town, and I had a home game like a day before and had a day off the next day. So our extended family came, my godparents and like young toddler cousins. So that was really nice to see her. But she should be home in the next couple weeks or so. Actually, so I'm excited.
Did you make a bracket this year?
I did not know how to. Technically, with sports betting rules and everything, I stay away.
Well, so I was at the baseball game. And I ran into Jahari. I was like, what is he doing here? And he said, and I asked him, you make a bracket? He said, I made like 4 of them, but I did. But he's like, we can't bet on it.
Yeah, we're not allowed to.
So you just, so like, is that actually true? Are you allowed to make a bracket without betting?
Yeah, you can make one without betting. My family does it our like compliance is really on top of it. So you can't, avoiding anything that could get you in trouble even if you don't know it's not allowed.
Betting's tempting though. It's so tempting.
I don't understand my betting. I don't understand. That's a new thing. That's also
sports gambling. Sports gambling is changing everything.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And you know what was nuts? Finding out the bigger benefits of Kalshi.
Yeah.
Because you can bet sports. You can bet on the weather. You can bet on TV shows. Who's gonna win the Grammys? Who's gonna win the Emmys?
I saw one that was like, is Project Hail Mary gonna get over under 95 on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, that was kind of that was yeah, but I'm not sure how much time you have left. But is there anything else you'd wanted to talk about today?
No. I mean, I had a lot of fun. You've got anything else? I'm good.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really nice having you on, and I'm not kicking you off or anything. You can stay as long as you want to.
I like Batman a lot. I forgot to add that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was really, really awesome to have you on and get to know your story and get to know where your basketball inspirations came from and like where you want to go in the coming years and stuff of that nature.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I mean, yeah, it's awesome to get involved with them. Shout out Student Media. Shout out WGME Radio. So yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
You going to Mason Day?
I am.
Yeah, I might run into you there.
Did Volker drop out?
Yes, he did.
What? Do we know why?
No, I was thinking, did the pilot do something that needs maintenance on the plane, or did his flight get canceled?
We got JT, and I'm like, how do we get JT on such short notice? I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stay for the concert. It's also gonna depend on the weather.
Yeah.
The weather's been up and down.
Yeah. I have a fun announcement though. If you do stay, Fourth Estate, George Mason Student Run newspaper is going into print, and we're handing out our print newspapers at Mason Day today. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of like this group. They did. I mean, it was so much hard work. We had shut down print at the start of the pandemic and lost a lot of funding. So it's been like such a huge project to get print back up and running and off the ground. So,
Oh,
any
that's a
excellent
huge deal.
newspaper. Yeah, I have a movie
Yeah.
review in there. A lot. I mean, it was so much fun to work on. I'm so proud of us. So, quick little fourth state plug.
Oh yeah, fourth estate plug it is. Um, but yeah, I know that you've got to get to go to something here soon, and I don't want to like take up your time and all that stuff. Um, and I obviously have things that I want to talk about with the sports world and all
Mhm.
that stuff. Are you still able to come on? I'm still able to. Are you still able to join me throughout some of the like? Because work is this show's gonna run till 2 o'clock.
Till 2 o'clock. Yeah, I mean, I carved out until 2 o'clock if you want.
You carve. You carve. Oh, you rescheduled the
Yeah, I
thing you
have
had.
office hours, but yeah, I mean, it's 2 seconds away. I'm totally good.
Okay. So let's talk about. I want to talk about the skydiver incident real quick. Did you hear about that?
I do.
He's stuck on the jumbotron at the
Your
Virginia.
brother doesn't go to football games.
So yeah, a skydiver at the Virginia Tech spring football game last Saturday crashed into the Lane Stadium jumbotron and was hanging on the letter C on the word Tech for roughly 20 minutes, hoping for rescuing. So okay, for the first thing that came up to my mind is he okay?
So,
Um, and this is just one of those stories that if you're not familiar with sports and the landscape of sports, that's just a story you're gonna hear about.
yeah,
You're gonna yeah, like you're gonna hear about that even if you're someone like my brother who doesn't. Yeah, he texted me and said it's impossible to ignore it. Yeah, it was very possible. It was very impossible to ignore that story. I really feel bad for the guy who was. Yeah, I really hope he was.
Is he okay? Did we get far?
Yeah, the wind was blowing at 7 knots. 7 knots within regulation of a normal skydive.
Was he supposed to? Was he supposed to land on the field? Was that the goal, and he just hit the jumbotron instead?
No, probably land somewhere in.
He was just a skydiver. He was
I,
part of.
from what I know.
Oh, okay, goodness. Oh no.
But I read an article. I was eating lunch the other day. I was reading this article. And I really the thing that stuck out to me was his care for, like he cared about the safety of the fans. Like, and I think that's a really big thing because when you're coming down at the speed of a typical skydiver, if you crash into fans at Lane Stadium, like that's gonna hurt. Like that'll chop your head off and all that stuff. And he also mentioned that he's served 17 years in the Army.
Wow.
So, and he said he's gotten injured in combat a few times before. So yeah, he's like, yeah, like he knows the ups and downs of being in the Army and all that stuff. And when I saw the story, I was like, whoa, like I was like, if my brother doesn't hear about this, then then something's going on. So obviously what I another thing that I saw was Paige Shiver spoke up about. Do you remember when the Sharon Moore story went up?
Michigan. My family's from Detroit. Like,
oh, so you probably that probably like slant.
Like go blue all the way.
Yeah, I moved it back into my house for winter break, and it absolutely slammed the internet like 30 minutes after I got home. So yeah, so I think that I'm really proud of her for speaking up about that kind of thing. It doesn't matter what side, like it doesn't matter the scale of innocence. Like if you're she was, I really, how scared you are for her and stuff like that. Just for her to speak up about that, I think is really, really, I think that really says something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a big, culture, and I totally understand why. I mean, it would be terrifying to speak up like that, and I think it's a really brave thing to do, and I think it's really important also to do so to like shift the blame, Like
yeah, and your heart just keeps going up and down like a.
She should not be ashamed for what happened to her. I mean, it's a power imbalance. It's absolutely inappropriate.
No.
And like to like shift the burden of that shame to is a scary thing to do because I mean.
No, if I had a relationship with like one of my bosses, that wouldn't be good.
It's a power imbalance. Yeah, I mean it's a tricky situation. Obviously, it's crazy.
And they gave, as of April 14th, they gave 18 months probation for Moore, and and the domestic charges were dropped. And I think I know why that happened.
Yeah.
He has money and he has lawyers to back him up.
Mhm.
It's probably like whenever you see things when it comes to like famous athletes getting in trouble and arrested and stuff like that, like you're probably thinking, well, they're gonna get little charges and they're gonna have lawyers to they're gonna have lawyers to back up the rest of the stuff and this and that.
But yeah, I mean, it's really brave what she did, especially in like the court of public opinion. I go blue. I want Michigan football to be great. It was so awesome when they won.
You said code blue?
I said go blue.
Go blue?
Yeah.
Watch out here.
Big Michigan fan.
Go Buckeyes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. I'm a Buckeye fan.
Why?
I have family in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah. No. I don't want to end the podcast on that note. I know that it happens. It's a big rivalry. We needed that win so bad. Yeah, I know you're looking down at the camera. Michigan's they're gonna be great this year. I think their coach now is gonna be even better than Sharon Moore was.
I'm excited to see where he goes. I mean, yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah, but really, it was really an honor to have you on today.
Thank you.
I know it's tricky to get you on, and like I know, especially like I'm asking people in season. I'm like, okay, in season's probably not the best time because in season during basketball is a busy schedule and you have all this stuff going on and yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I had so much fun.
I really appreciate you having on. And I will see you. I might run into you at Mason Day. I might not. Put sunscreen on. It's hot as heck out there.
It is.
And you said you're handing out 4th Estate newspapers. Yes. Beautiful. I got to make sure my sweet mates get some of that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Am I trying to just get out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks so much.
Yeah. Really excited about your future.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Take care and have a great summer and a smooth transition into the next school.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All righty, guys. Obviously, we have about 10-15 more minutes. So really great to have her on the podcast. She's a wonderful human being to talk to, and loved as commentator, loved watching her play and all of that. So Victor Wembanyama went down with a concussion in Game 2 against the Portland Trailblazers Tuesday night and brings massive uncertainty towards whether or not he'll be able to return to the playoffs. Well, okay, I might be going over the top with that one. My first thought is, what do we think's going to happen if Wemby does, like, when you think concussion, you think, okay, probably 2 to 4 weeks or 3 to 5 weeks or something like that. But no, an update came up and they're saying that he is questionable for Game 3. And a concussion, when you think concussion, like I said, you think it's probably going to be a few weeks before he can come back and play normal basketball. But I really do. I know he's questionable, but I really, in all seriousness, I really do think it's going to be a couple weeks. And I think the Spurs would have won in 5 or 6 if Wemby didn't get injured. But I think if he's out, I still think the Spurs move on because they have a great core. They've got great role players, Stephon Castle. They have De'Aaron Fox and much more to come. And I still think, especially with Wemby out for a significant amount of time, I know Drew Holiday's got a lot of experience, a lot of quality experience in playoffs. But I think that I think the Spurs take it in 7. And let's go into then in my theory is Cornette enough. Cornette definitely has playoff experience, but does he have what it takes to lead the big man role as a Spur in a tough game like this? I'm not sure. When you lose a player like the unanimous defensive player of the year, it's literally it's bottom line. It's bottom line uh, smack in the face, and it really takes a big setback on you. Um, and and you're probably thinking we got to make some adjustments, and we got to do this and that. Um, and um, and Wemby getting hurt. It's definitely we can't go Zion Williamson and say, well, he's just can't stay healthy and all that. This is only Wemby's second. It was his third year in the league. It's only his second year getting like injured in critical moments like this. Like the Spurs didn't make playoffs last year because De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama were injured, and that made that big of a difference. But I think Wemby getting hurt, I really do think it does something. I definitely believe in them to. I definitely believe in them to really get down on. Really get down to business, do what they try and do best. And with that being said, before we get on to the next topic, I know we've got a few more topics to go over, um, and we got to ramble through these. So with this being said, I do have first round predictions as of right now. I think Spurs are going to take the Blazers in 7, Lakers in 5, because no disrespect whatsoever. We've seen that Kevin Durant really hasn't proven to carry a team by himself. I think the Lakers taking in 5, despite not having Luka and AR. The Nuggets will take the Wolves in 7. I think that's going to come down as a at least 6-game series, if not a 7-game series. Thunder in 4. We're going to get into an officiating conversation here in just a moment. The Thunder, I think, are going to take down Phoenix in 4. OKC is just, I know there's been some reffing controversy, but I really think Oklahoma City is, I mean, obviously, like I've said in other podcast episodes, the Thunder drafted well. They drafted well. They did it the right way. And now they have a defensive masterclass with just everybody doing their little roles and getting the job done as a team asset. Celtics in 6 over the not over the Knicks, over the 76ers. Man, Celtics in 6. I think it's a great series. Um I know that the Sixers, VJ Edgecombe really made his presence known in a huge way in game 2. And then Cavaliers in 5. Yes, the Raptors won. They won game 3. And then I think the Knicks will eliminate they're going to eliminate the Magic in game. No, not the Magic. What am I doing? The Knicks. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. There's so much going on in my head right now. I think the Knicks will win their series in 6. The Magic, after watching that Hornets game, I must say, I think that with that discipline and that defense, Orlando obviously didn't have their best March, their best April until that Hornets game, and their inner anger, I felt like, just came out watching that first half of the Hornets game. It was hard to watch as a Hornets fan, but like I said, I think it's I think Paolo Banchero, I know he'd had a rough season, like I said, and I think the Knicks will not the Knicks. I think the Magic will really take care of the Pistons here. The Magic, they have a little more playoff experience. Well, it's kind of the same. They kind of equal on playoff experience, but I think with Orlando's, I think it comes down to defensive discipline. I think with the way, just like I said, the way they played against the Hornets, they looked amazing. I was extremely impressed with that defense, and it makes me think, especially after winning game 1 against the Pistons, it really makes me think they could at least make this a series against the Pistons, because the Pistons are good and all, but the Magic are playing extremely well. And I think the Knicks will take their series in 6 games over. Oh my gosh, why is this happening? I'm trying to think of who they're playing. I know it's supposed to be on the spot. Um, the Knicks are playing. Oh my gosh, I can't look it up. Yeah, I can look it up. Knicks at the Hawks. The Hawks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think they're gonna take down the Hawks in 6. Um, all right, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. Sunday night, the Sabres have become the first team in Stanley Cup playoff history to win in regulation. I know I got 5 minutes left. After trailing by 2 or more goals with 8 minutes or fewer remaining in the third period. Oh my goodness. First of all, Buffalo had their first playoff game in 15 years. You knew going into that game that environment was going to be a rowdy one. That was incredible to watch. Like when it was 1-0 and 2-0, I wasn't concerned or angry for the Sabres. It's just because it was their first playoff game in a long time. If they lost that game, I would have been like, oh my goodness, like they're in trouble. And just knowing, I know I've said that game 1 is always a key game to take in a 7-game playoff series. But I just like, yeah, I think I knew the environment was going to be extremely rowdy, and it was going to be over the top. And so obviously we saw a big comeback in that game. We really, really saw the Sabres utilize their personnel in a huge way. Just knowing Tage Thompson, right? 40 goals in regular season. They knew that they had to get the puck on his stick. Get your player puck on the stick of your best player's mentality is always a key thing when it comes to key playoff moments. And definitely with 9 minutes left, it really looked like the Bruins were going to win. And obviously, it was KeyBank was quiet. The fans had nothing to celebrate. But then I think something about Swayman here. I think a big way to beat Swayman. The first thing you got to think about with Swayman is he's a great goaltender, but he contains rebounds extremely effectively. Swayman is one of those that you kind of have to catch off guard. Think of the wraparound goal that Tage Thompson had, the first goal of the game. He didn't it was like the fans like you had none of that. He just whacked it and just put it in there. You have to catch a goalie like him off guard if you're gonna execute, and that's a good challenge for a team like the Sabres. But then, but then when Tage's second goal went in, I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Because Swayman is typical just one shot on a guy like him. You're probably thinking it really doesn't work that well in general. Yeah, it's just a guy like that. It's just not gonna work. But it did in that moment, mainly because the fans had the Sabres back. It's like putting fuel in the fire, giving them the momentum, and really just antsing up and living it up to the moment. But let's talk about Matthias Samuelsson here. Okay, let's talk about. He's known for hits, not scoring, but Sunday said otherwise. That right there, I don't want to say this, but that may have been the goal of his life right there. But he could have another big moment, but right there, that's going to be a goal. I know he had 13 goals in the regular season. That's going to be a goal right there that he remembers forever. Giving the Sabres a 3-2 lead with not a lot of time left between the second and third goal. Oh, did they respond quick? Like, they were like, nope, we're going to put in another one. And they were literally in Swayman's head. The fans, the rowdiness, oh my goodness, it was all in the Bruins' head. And they knew they had it. and they just put it in the back of the net. And okay, and this set makes you think the difference between the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA playoffs. The Stanley Cup playoffs, the think about it. Or you hockey fans out there, think of Oilers Ducks 2017. We've seen the craziness we've seen the most unexpected. The Oilers Ducks 3-0 Oilers in the third period with 4 minutes left. They pull the goalie. That shows you we've seen it happen before. And then watching game 2, that second goal, I was like, oh my goodness, is it gonna happen again? And Oilers Ducks game 5 in the second round came to my head, because that was a heck of a game, and I wouldn't have been surprised if they did it again. But the Bruins knew they had been in that situation the other game, and they kind of had to do what they needed to do. But yeah, I really do hate to be this guy, but I do have to conclude the show there. Thank you all very much for tuning into the show and reflection and projection for sports. And once again, shout out to Louis Volker for being here. And that was that. All right. Goodbye, everyone. And we will see you all for the next show.